Hey guys, it's Izzy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at the really basic stuff of HTML and CSS. This is for anyone that's just starting their journey into web development. And if you're a bit like me, it can seem a little bit confusing. So I'm just breaking it down really simply today. We're going to look at what IDE to use. So basically what platform you want to develop your code on as well. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So about HTML, it's just the language of the web. At the end of the day, this is how things are displayed in your web browser every time you go on a website. If you go on ASOS or whatever it is you're looking for, that is what it could be written in. And then we also have CSS. So CSS, cascading style sheets, is really just how you can manipulate the HTML to present it in a way which is much more appealing, and it's just more of the design element of what you are writing in your HTML. So there are a few ways you can write your code. There are two really famous programs, Microsoft Visual Studio, which is a bit of a heavier IDE, and there's a bit more going on in the environment. You can develop a few more things. Such as web apps and web services, as it says down here. But then we also have Visual Studio Code, which I personally really enjoy. It's like a really lightweight version of Visual Studio. It's quick to start up, and you can always add extensions of things that you need to use. So for me, I'm a Mac user. I really like Visual Studio Code. So we're going to be doing this in Visual Studio Code today. You can just easily download it from the web. Without any issues. So first we're going to open up our Visual Studio Code, and we are going to get asked if we want to open up a new file. We do. We're going to select our language, as we know we're writing in HTML today, and let's save this file as well into HTML. So we're going to pop it in demo, and to do that we're literally going to put demo.html. And there we have our first HTML file. So guys, I thought I would make the screen a little bit bigger for you, and here we have our HTML file. As you can see, I've added a few things. So we have to start off with our doc type at the top. That's just so any web browser knows this is HTML we are using. And then we have a thing called a head, and with the head it can basically contain a bunch of information that never gets shown on our web browser. So this can contain things like metadata and titles and links as well. So here we have a link, and we'll go onto that in a bit. And then we also have a closing tag for our HTML. What we need now, if we want something to show up on our website, is we need to create a body of the website. And within the body, we can use things like tags such as H1 tags, H2 tags, and these are basically just heading tags. And we can write whatever we like in these, and this will show up on our web browser. So everything in the body will show up on our browser. Okay, so it's all well and good, but how do we view this? So if we reveal our file in our Finder, here we have it. And we're going to open up with Chrome. And here we have our first website with Hello World. What we're going to do next is basically style this a bit so it just looks a little bit more funky and a bit more interesting, and you will be well on your way. So to style our HTML document that we've just seen, we are going to create a new file in Visual Studio Code, and we are going to save this as a cascading style sheet. So we are literally going to put the extension as a CSS, and here we have our CSS. If we go back into demo, we can see here that within our body we have used a H1 tag. So let's use that now to style Hello World. But first I'm thinking, let's change the background color a little bit, mix it up. So to do that, we know the body is basically the page, and we can change the background color here. So let's just make it brown. Okay, cool. And then as we saw, this is a H1 tag. So let's put H1. And as our background is brown, let's just make this, ooh, corn silk. Okay, let's make it corn silk. I haven't seen that one before. So we are going to save that. That's great. Now let's go back to our web browser and give it a refresh. Okay, so it it hasn't changed. And that's because we haven't linked up the two files yet. So let's get on to that now. So to link them up, we go back to our HTML, we will see that we have a link rel style sheet, and in that is literally where we put in our CSS. So for this, we're just going to pop in demo.css, give it a save, and let's refresh our web browser, and here we have our new version using CSS. Just to note that I also added a few extra things on our CSS. So I've just changed the font here, and I've popped the text into the center and given it a bit of padding around the sides just to make it look a little bit nicer. So yeah, it's a really simple introduction into how to use HTML and CSS. Um, it's just one of those things, once you get down, you can start implementing JavaScript and all these other things. And so yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.